going to start Creative Studio. This is my Statler computer, but I do not have the red and green switch turned on. It says run in Creative Studio and stand alone. Okay. Then I'm going to click cancel because I will not be using any encrypted patterns. So this is a demo on using the standalone mode. The first thing I'm going to do, I need some patterns. I'm going to go and click the add pattern icon, and it'll come up with a box over here where I can get patterns. It goes to the last pattern folder that I used, and I used the Statler Stitcher patterns. I'm just going to grab this bar and scroll down because I want geometric patterns. I'm going to go down to geometric, and I want the geometric square. And let's see, I want this one. This is the geometric square with the square corners. I'll just click select, and I will not click done yet because I want to go to the C drive and get another pattern. I'm in the C drive. I'm just going to use this, go up to the patterns by folders, and I want to go to the patterns by right here, my own folder. Open that. I'm going to get this crosshatch 7 by 12. Click select, and for the time being I think I'm finished with this, so I'll click done. I know people have questions, especially new people have questions about how to use all of this. Here's my pattern preview. Here's my crosshatch pattern 7 by 12 and my geometric square. I'm going to click on the geometric square, and down in this setup area it says design pattern properties. I'm going to turn off the freeze aspect. I'll just double left click and that'll turn that off. Click left click in this box, change that to 7, and the next box I'm going to change that to 12. I'm doing this because this pattern is 7 by 12 and I want to use that pattern. So I'll take and click the repeat patterns icon, and that will let me place this geometric square. Since that's what's selected, it'll let me place it on the screen. Now in standalone we don't have all of these keypad features. They're not available. They're not available because we're not connected to the controller. If I click on view, you can see the keypad window and the crosshair is grayed out. I can view my grid and I can change the grid size. I have the grid size set at 1 inch. It's a 1 inch square. Each side of the square is 1 inch. Okay, I'll get out of that. Then when I click OK, it's going to put this geometric square on the screen, but it's going to put it on the screen as 7 inches high, 12 inches wide. So there's my square. And yes, I could stitch this because it is a stitchable pattern. But I'm going to right click and I'm going to convert it to a boundary. Convert pattern to boundary. Now this geometric square that was originally a pattern, stitchable, is now a boundary. I'm going to select this crosshatch pattern, and I'm going to show you. See, one other feature that you have available. When I put this pattern on the screen, you could see that down here I had what appeared to be the full model of the 6-button keypad, but I only had OK in the left and OK in the right and cancel in the center. I didn't have anything above. So now I can use another feature, which is the pattern to boundary icon. I have the pattern to boundary icon set on stretch. and that's fine. I'll just click the pattern to boundary icon. We'll put this crosshatch pattern into this boundary. There it is. It's that simple. Now, that's basically all there is to using that feature. I'm going to go to a new quilt group, and I'm not going to name it anything. It just says it's going to be quilt group 2, and that's fine. I'll click OK. Let's suppose I had a little quilt that I wanted to look at this crosshatch pattern on, say, an area that I wanted to crosshatch. So here, I have it selected, and when I click the repeat patterns icon, I can select how many rows, or I can absolutely just put in the total width and the total height. So I'll do it this way first. I'll say I want 2 repeats and 3 rows. I'll just click, and there it is. Now you notice this doesn't match up very well. So I think what I'm going to do is select these 2 and then flip this vertically and see if it'll match better. Yeah, there it is, you see. Now it all looks like it all matches up really good. I'm going to go back to the open pattern file folder and get another pattern. I'll click over here, click on the C drive, and I'm going to go get a pattern. Let's see. Okay, patterns by design, designs by Deb. Open that, and I've used this pattern quite a few times. Here's what I'm going to get. This one. It's posies. Hold down the control key, and I'm going to go on down and get another one that I use. Now here's the sunflower pattern, and I use this. I flip this one. Okay, I'm going to get that one. I'm going to undo that pattern. Get this sunflower. Now here's this posies, and I flipped it to put the start and end at the bottom. Get that one. Select those. Now that selects both patterns, puts them on the screen. I'm done. And I'm just going to do another quilt group here. Click OK. That's quilt group 3. And I'm just going to do a little experiment with this. A sunflower pattern. It's set at 12 by 17. Hit the repeat patterns icon. I want this quilt to be basically 60 inches wide. I'm going to enter that in the total width. See, you can put in the width of the quilt. That's one of the good things about repeat patterns. And the total height, the length of the quilt, I'm going to say it's 60. It's a little square quilt. Horizontal spacing, I won't do anything with that. Put that on the screen, and I can look at. Now I may use a little bit of negative vertical spacing here. I'll look at that, and if I want to do that, I can go down here and put in some negative. I'll put in about 0.4 and look at it. That looks pretty good now. It closed it up. So I could compare that with another pattern. Now remember, I'm doing all this in SAM. It's just standalone, but it gives me a visual of what I can expect the pattern to look like on a quilt. And I could even take this to a quilt, and I've done this, and bring it into Creve Studio and quilt it out. I'll go get this posies pattern. I'll close this setup box. Get a look at the posies. And it's basically the same size pattern. Click on my repeat patterns, and again the total width, I'll make it 60, and total height, which is the quilt length, make it 60, and I'll just click OK, and there it is. I can kind of look at those and compare them, and if I wanted to, I could even take this. I think I'm just going to combine that pattern. Take that, and I can actually overlay them on top of each other and just kind of compare what they look like as far as density, and I could make a decision of what I want to use. This is just a basic intro to the SAM mode. So this is something you can play with. Now, I have some pretty in-depth, elaborate videos that I have made up on using SAM. So the videos, you can go to my website, you can go to Vimeo, you can go to YouTube, and you can find videos that I've made. So this is just a start of a series of these little videos.